Hey guys, welcome. I just finished a podcast recording with Brett Riggins for Real Estate Mogul MD. We had a great conversation, and something that came up I thought was so important to share. Number one, no one cares more about your money than you do. And I think this is something that especially physicians don't realize. We go to school for 8 years and then we do residency, we take board exams, we do fellowships, even perhaps. So we have all this training, and then even we take a Hippocratic oath to do no harm. And then, even after all that, when we see patients who perhaps need a specialist or the next level of care, we are very good at, we're just very trained. It's just part of our culture to defer to specialists. And I think that that mindset we translate to everything else, and especially to our finances. And we think, okay, well, I'm the specialist in health. That person's a specialist in finance, or that person's a specialist in real estate. So I'll just give this to them and they can manage that for me. And that's not the best mindset. You've got to care about your own money. It's just like if you have a patient who has heart disease. You can see them in clinic maybe once every few months. You can prescribe medications. You can tell them what to do, but you cannot truly impact their health unless they take an interest. Until they actually, check their weight daily or look at their diet and make sure they're eating right, get to the gym or wherever to exercise every day. They've got to take an interest, and they've got to do those really boring, unpleasant tasks of taking care of their health, because without their cooperation and without their involvement in their activities, you are not going to actually make an impact on their health. And it's the same thing with your wealth. If you don't take an active interest into your financial health, you are not going to make the impact that you desire. You've got to look at your budget. You've got to see how much you're spending on things. You've got to look at your retirement accounts and see how they're doing. You cannot expect for any specialist, no matter how good, to do it for you. And I know that kind of sucks. I mean, I wish there was an easy button. I wish there was somebody who could just do it all for me. In fact, I wish somebody could get me in shape too. I would love to get the easy button on that one. But unfortunately, as you know, life isn't like that. Things are not like that. Anything that you really want to do in your life, you've got to take an interest. And paying attention to something makes a positive impact. Things change when you pay attention. And I think this is something that we know happens, right? Like whether it's a plant you're taking care of, whether it's your health, whether it's your bank account, your retirement account, when you start paying attention, when you start learning how things work, you will make a difference. And that's one of the things we touched upon in this podcast. I think we also have to vet financial professionals that we use. We have this assumption that they are the experts, just like the cardiologist is expert on the heart or the orthopedist is an expert on the bones, but they are not. And they don't really understand alternative investments. They discourage them and they don't want you to participate in them, because most of the time they are paid by assets under management, meaning they are getting 1-2% of how much money they manage for you. So that is a conflict of interest. So I think we have to be careful. We have to be smart. Just like I talked about how to vet syndicators, right? We talk about if you see a real estate deal, how do you evaluate that real estate deal? How do you evaluate the sponsor? Well, how do you evaluate your financial planner? That's something we don't talk about. How many clients have they taken from 100,000 to a million net worth? How many clients do they have? Have we spoken to their previous clients to see how was their experience? And then how much do they know about things outside of the stock market? I think we never even bother to vet these professionals nearly as much as we might vet a doctor we're going to go visit. If we're going to go see a surgeon, we're probably going to ask 5 different people. We're probably going to check their reviews. We might check the Texas Medical Board site. We might do a lot of things to vet that surgeon. But are we doing the same thing to vet financial professionals? I don't think so. And so I think it's really time that we also apply the same standards and process to financial professionals so that we know that if we are getting advice, we're getting advice from people who have experience, who have knowledge, and who have our interests at heart. There is a lot of ways to make money outside of the stock market. And I think that the other thing they don't talk about enough is how can you create passive income or an alternative income? I guess the assumption is that we're just going to keep working and just keep putting all our residual income into the retirement. Of course, the more we have in the retirement accounts, the more assets under management they have. But we are stuck working until retirement age without a break, without the ability to reduce the amount we want to work. What if you have a health emergency or a family member has a health emergency or something else like that, and you don't have a way to earn any income because you are so dependent on your paycheck? And so I think it's really important that we think outside the box, vet these professionals carefully, and pay attention to our own finances. Start auditing where we're spending our money, how much we're spending. Think outside the box. You don't need to put all your residual income into retirement accounts. Put it into alternative investment or create a business, something that generates income outside of your job. And then, if you are going to use financial planners who are fee for service and who have been vetted. I wanted to get on here and just share that with you guys because I think those are some really important things that we talked about. I hope you got some value from this. See you next time.